Turn.
Oh, well, I shouldn't be surprised by this, should I? I mean, Tom's out to make a big name for himself as our brand new DA, no matter who he has to prosecute, right?
Barbara, Tom's not the one who's doing the pushing. Whenever there's a case that receives this much publicity, there's always a lot of political pressure to move ahead as quickly as possible. Right. Now, I don't think Tom's any happier about this than I am. I'm sure he'd like a little more time to prepare his case.
What about you? Are you going to be ready by next week?
It doesn't work like that. The grand jury hearing is strictly the DA's show. He presents witnesses and tries to prove there's enough evidence to take a case to trial. At that point, I don't do anything. I'm not even allowed in the grand jury room with you. Oh. But don't worry. Don't worry. We will go over your testimony very carefully beforehand. It's obvious what Tom's basing his case on.
What?
That you were found at the scene of the crime, carrying the murder weapon, your gun, and that your fingerprints were the only prints found on that gun.
But I don't know how the gun got in my hand, Jessica. You have to believe me.
Barbara, I do believe you. But getting a jury to believe it, well, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Well, I wish I could have spoken to Franny before she left for Boston.
You know, I wish I could have talked her out of it. She understood that you were busy with the Stenbeck case. She's going to call in a couple of days after she's settled.
Well, good. I hope I speak.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Margot.
I'm sorry. Am I interrupting something?
No, not at all. I'm leaving. See you.
Bye, Dad.
Bye.
Come on in. Come on in. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, Max said that until this case is over, we're to keep you abreast of any new developments as they happen.
So? Any new developments?
Well, I had a rather fruitless visit with Vincent Gioro in Chicago just now. I went there because I thought I could push him into admitting that he knew that it was Stenbeck's money that helped Tonio take over Craig's company.
Well, even if you can prove it, it doesn't bring you any closer to nailing Tonio as Stenbeck's murderer. You still believe that Tonio was at the Ruxton Hills house that night?
Yes, I do. He told Lucinda that he would kill James if he knew where James was hiding, and Lucinda provided him with the information.
Well, even if you can place him at the house, the simple fact remains that the murder weapon is still registered to Barbara.
Look, Tonio has had it in for Barbara ever since their little sordid affair while he was still married to Sierra. He knows the apartment. So he went there, he took the gun out of the night table, he unlocked the window to the fire escape, he goes up to the Ruxton Hills house, he shoots James Stenbeck and leaves the gun there. Now, I'm not saying he knew Barbara was going to come along and pick up the gun, but just the mere fact that the gun could be traced back to Barbara, that would be enough for our Mr. Reyes.
Well, it's an interesting theory.
Yeah.
How do you prove it?
I can't even think while you're yelling at me like
All
this.
right, you said you could explain, so start explaining. Why are you so bent on destroying our lives?
I'm not. It's just that Holden kept badgering me until I finally told him.
Damn it, Meg. I'm about to make Holden a full partner with me at Montgomery & Associates. Now, he is not going to jeopardize his position by saying...
No, that's not true. He said if the police asked him outright that he would have to...
I can handle Holden. The one I'm worried about is you. If you don't get your emotions in check, you are going to blurt out something that we're both going to regret.
Oh, I don't know how much longer I can take this. Keep this up.
Oh, Meg, you have to keep this up. Now, look, we've already told our story as to what happened that night. So far, the police seem to accept that. Now, we have to stick to that story. The only way we're going to get into any trouble is if you start losing control of your emotions.
No, but...
But what? Look, Meg, if you love me, you've got to find some way to do this for both of us. Now, look, why don't we change and go downstairs and get some dinner? We'll feel better after that. And we can come back up here and try and get some rest.
The Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by April Fresh Downy, bursting with fluffy softness, and by New Mountain Dawn, the fresh new way to cut grease.
I'm sorry I keep getting emotional about all this. It's just... I love you so much, and if anything were to happen to you...
Nothing is going to happen to me. As far as Stenbeck is concerned, let's just make a pact between us, never to mention his name again, all right?
Yeah, it's fine by me. Every time I even think about that night when I thought...
All right? Let's go downstairs. I'll help you cook some dinner.
Well, this I've got to see.
What was she going to say? At least I've got the buttons.
I know. My theory about Tonio isn't worth a damn unless I can find a way to back it up, but I will find a way to back it up. Did Bob come here to talk to you about Barbara?
Among other things. Why?
It can't be easy on you, or the rest of the family.
It isn't. If I wind up prosecuting Barbara, it's going to get worse for everyone involved.
Can you stand up to it all?
Well, I don't know. As DA, I have to prosecute with the evidence available to us, and right now, all that evidence points straight to Barbara. Please, you know, give me some more evidence that incriminates someone else. I'll be glad to prosecute her. Excuse me. Yeah. Send him in.
Tom, Max
Howdy.
said that you wanted to... Hey, when did you get back from Chicago?
Oh, about a half an hour ago. I came to the DA's office per Mac's orders.
Yeah, that's why I'm here too, Tom. I
Hold
need
on.
to ask a sec, please.
Yeah. No, that sounds fine. Listen, when Ed gets here, I'll just order up some sandwiches or something. Looks like it's going to be another all-nighter. Okay, I'll see you in the ham. Bye-bye.
Ed? You mean Ed Hamilton?
Yes, I've appointed Ed as the assistant DA to help me while we're doing this case. If we manage to get a grand jury together, we're going to have to subpoena witnesses. The workload's going to be too much.
Wait a minute. You're bringing Barbara before a grand jury already?
Not by choice, Hal. It seems the governor has been pressuring the attorney general, and he has been pressuring Commissioner Mason. I couldn't hold him off any longer.
And when is this grand jury planning on convening?
Well, depending on how quick we can put things together, it could be as early as tomorrow afternoon.
Are you sure you don't want to come out to the farm for dinner?
Well, I would love to. I just don't think that your family is ready to accept the fact that we're going to be married so quickly.
All the more reason you should come out there. The more they see us together, the faster they're going to accept it.
Okay.
Good.
But I want to stay here for a little while with Barbara and Paul, so I'll drive out by myself.
Okay.
Hi, Holden.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Hi, Barbara. All right, I'm going to go out there, and I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Well, I better be going, too.
Okay.
Listen, give me a call after your session with Dr. Michaels. Maybe she'll help you to remember something more. And maybe I will have heard from Tom by then.
I get the distinct impression that you're keeping something from me, that you're not telling me everything, Jessica.
Oh, Barbara, it has nothing to do with you or the case. It's a personal problem. Listen, I'll be home tonight. If you need anything, just give me a call.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jessica, may I speak to you for...
Okay.
Excuse me. All right, you know the $250,000 that I asked you for?
Uh-huh.
I just need a little bit more, okay? Wait, I decided I wanted to buy one of the new condominiums that they made up at the old Peabody estate. I need a cash down payment.
Emily, with everything that's going on right now, do you really think you should be out on your own?
Well, I'm not going to be moving out on my own. You see, I'm going to be moving in with Holden. We're going to get married. Well, the money that I'm getting from my trust fund is for him so he can buy into the partnership with Tonio Reyes.
Emily, I represented Sierra when she sold the company to Tonio Reyes. And there's a clause that stipulates when and if Craig returns, he can buy the company back.
Yeah, I know that, but he's going to buy it back at market value. Now, with Holden and Tonio, they're wonderful. They're going to be so successful. They're going to make so much money, and then they'll make a huge profit. And they'll move on to bigger and better things.
Okay, Emily. I'll get my secretary on it tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Paul? What's wrong?
I just overheard you and Jessica talking. Are you and Holden really getting married?
Yes, Paul, we are. Oh, honey, I really didn't want you to hear it this way. I wanted to be the one to tell you. Paul, it's really important to me that you understand.
Well, yeah, I do. I guess. But does Holden know about the baby?
No. Of course he doesn't know about the baby. Paul, that is our secret, all right? It's between you and me.
I think it's
It's wonderful that the publisher is interested in Seth's novel. My only question is, who's going to do his chores around the farm here while he's out in Chicago?
Well, Saul Jeffers.
Saul?
Yeah, you remember him, don't you? He was that man who lost his farm last year.
Oh, yeah.
Remember I got him that job over at the Cobbs?
Yeah.
Oh, and I also spoke to Lucinda about hiring him as a stableman. Remember?
Look, I think it's great that you're helping Seth out and everything like that, but I don't like it if it means you're going to have to do more physical work around this place.
I won't. You know, I really owe this to Seth. You know, he left high school when he was very young. His daddy died to take over the farm full time and to look after all of us, and he put his own life on hold, and that was wrong. I never realized just how wrong that was until all this business with Sabrina and Franny. I can't expect him to live out my dream of this farm for me. I have to let my children, Seth, all of my children, live out their own dream. You know?
I guess so. I would love for Andrew to go on to be a doctor like me. He'd be a hell of a doctor, I think Andrew would, but I don't really want to push him, you know.
Well, don't. Don't, I'll tell you, because sooner or later, really, he'll resent it. And that's what I'm talking about with Seth. I don't want to be a farmer. Oh, hey! Oh, aren't you early? Hello.
Look, I got to be running along. Rosa's holding dinner for me.
Oh, Lucinda doesn't cook for you? Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for the good advice.
Want to take some cookies?
No, I have some. So long, Iva.
Bye. Bye.
See you later.
Take your poem. That is one of the sweetest men I've ever known.
Mama, you know, you look a little tired. Why don't you go in and lie down, and I will cook dinner.
Well, all right.
That was easy. I expected more of a fight.
No,
Yeah.
I always win. I thought I'd let you win this time.
Oh, Mama. Thank you.
The meat's in the refrigerator. Put an apron.
I will, thanks.
Hello, Iva.
Hi.
Guess who I ran into today? Lucinda. She came to see me at my office. She said she wanted Lily and I to get back together. You put her up to it, didn't you?
I talked to her about it. I think she realizes what a mess she made, turning Lily against you, and what a mistake it was. She probably talked to you about that.
Yeah, well, I don't buy it, all right? And mistake or no mistake, stay out of my business once and for all.
Oh,
right?
hold it. Hey, look, I would love to stay out of it if you would just be honest with yourself and admit that the only reason you're marrying Emily Stewart is to get back at Lily. And I wish you would just wait until Seth gets back from Chicago.
It's too late. We've already reserved the chapel, university, and we're putting the down payment on a condo tomorrow.
Condo? Boy, I don't know why you're rushing into this. I really don't. No, wait. Let me tell you. Because if you don't rush into this, you'll change your mind.
I don't have to listen
No,
to
wait,
this.
hold it. Now, listen. I know you are hurting right now, but marrying Emily is not going to stop that hurt. Marriage is based on a lifetime commitment. If you don't start with love, some sort of love, you don't have anywhere to go.
Don't talk to me about this love stuff. You loved Craig, and where did that get you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's all right. But you see, I admitted that losing Craig hurt me a lot. You see, I was honest with myself. Because I realized that Craig and Sierra, well, they belong together. So no matter how long it takes, I'm going to hold out for that. I'm going to hold out for real love and a real commitment. Because I think I deserve that. I owe that to myself. And so do you.
Lie.
Yeah?
Marry me.
Puppy's home.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Ooh. Do I smell your famous apple cider pot roast?
Yes, you do. You do. I hope you got the right wine, red, right?
Yep, a particularly good vintage, since this is our week-ending anniversary. I figured I deserved a reward after all I went through to get you to the altar.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm sorry. Took so long, but I'm glad you didn't give up.
No, I couldn't give up. I couldn't live without you. Your rent's too cheap.
Oh. Oops.
Oops.
Certainly don't want to interrupt anything. I just came home to take a shower, and I wanted to know, is Tony still lurking up in the bathtub somewhere?
No, him and the rest of Paredes went back to Beantown. That reminds me, I gotta go call my brother. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I heard that Barbara Ryan was arrested for Jane Stenbeck's murder.
Yeah.
Think she did it?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I have my own theories on who did it, but all the evidence we have so far points right to Barbara. Tom's trying to convene a grand jury, and if he gets an indictment, he's planning on prosecuting it himself.
Well, I can't envy that. Prosecuting a member of your own family?
Not to mention a woman he almost married once. Well, I don't know how he does it. I admire him. I don't think I could be that objective.
Well, Tom's a remarkable man.
Yeah, he is.
I'm glad you remember that. I'm glad that you can still see that he...
Stop it, Mama. Mama! Stop it! Just stop it, what you're doing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Mama. What? Pot roast. Oh. Wow. Do you remember Craig when he was a little kid? He could never say his T's. He was always, pot roast.
Line's busy. So, Margot, you staying for dinner?
No, I wouldn't dare intrude on your newlywed bliss. I'm going to grab something and go down to the station and eat it with Hal. So why don't you just carry on, all right?
Gotcha.
That's an order.
Okay. What's the matter?
Well, we were talking about Craig when he was... Never mind. Hey, did you hear that Barbara Stenbeck Ryan was arrested for James Stenbeck's murder?
Yeah, the hospital was buzzing about it.
Well, Barbara may be guilty of a lot of things, but I don't think murder is one of them. But I'm going to tell you something. I think something very good is going to come out of this because I think Margot's beginning to soften up on her attitudes about Tom. You know? Maybe there is hope for a reconciliation.
Well, I hope it's not too late. Oh, I didn't tell you. Before I came to your New York opening, I happened to be in a hospital, and I overheard Taylor telling her daddy how she no longer considered me a challenge, and she'd love to get her hooks into Tom.
What? Did you tell him that?
No, I didn't tell him that.
Why?
That would be like gossiping.
No!
Yes, he can take care of himself. He's in love with Margot. He doesn't even look at another woman.
Casey, I think you should warn him.
Well, get out of here. He just laughed in my face.
I don't think it's funny.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Taylor, come on in.
I'm sorry to just drop by like this, but I just heard about Barbara's arrest on the news, and I wanted to offer some moral support to her. Service said she was staying here.
Yes, we thought it best that she stay here with the family for a while.
Boy, this must be a rough time on all of you, especially Tom. His position as DA really puts him in an awkward position. How's he doing?
Well, he's trying to handle this as professionally as possible, but he's under a lot of pressure. I was hoping that he'd take a break and join us for dinner tonight, but he's bracing himself for an all-night session in his office. Well, listen, take your coat off, and I'll tell Barbara that you're here.
Thanks. So, Tom's under a lot of pressure. Well, I know the perfect way to relieve some of it.
Oh,
good.
Hello,
John,
dear.
Thank God you're here. Where have you been?
I had to go out to the Snyder farm to check up on Emma.
Did she say anything about Holden?
No. She had too much on her mind.
I went to see Lily today.
Oh?
Yes, I went to mend fences, and I'm afraid I messed that up. Tears. She blamed me. She says I'm manipulating her.
Well, what else is new, huh?
Well, then I thought, well, I'll swallow my pride, and I went to see Holden. I went to see him. He was very grand and turned his back on me, but then everybody's turning their back on me.
Oh, come on. I haven't turned my back on you. I just want you to trust me, that's all.
I do, and I want to confide in you.
Huh?
You know, darling,
What?
I always said, at the very least, Tonio was hiding something. Well, now I've got proof.
What?
I found the proof in his apartment this evening.
Reyes let you into his apartment?
I borrowed your keys and let myself in.
You what?
Yes. It's all right. Tonio and May came home, but they didn't see me because I was hiding in the closet.
In the closet?
Look. Look what I found in a drawer in the bedroom. See? It's just like the button that the police found under the docks. The one that the police are sure belongs to James Stenbeck's contact. Look, one is missing.
Darling, what are you going to do with this newfound information?
I'm going to take it to the police.
You don't think they're going to ask you how you got it?
I will check with Ambrose first. And if he says it's all right, I'll go ahead with it. It will be worth it to see Tonio behind bars.
Tell me something. Why are you so determined to point the finger at Tonio?
I just wish that there was something I could do for you, Barbara, and for Tom, too. This can't be easy on him, either.
On the contrary, I think it was Tom who pushed for the grand jury to convene so quickly.
Why? Your family.
Come on, Taylor. Don't you remember me telling you Tom and Margot and I were involved in a rather awkward situation last year, and I don't think they've ever forgiven me for my part in it, and Tom has waited all this time to even the score.
I can't believe that Tom would let something personal like that interfere with his judgment on a murder case.
You don't know him the way I do.
Mom, Nancy says dinner will be ready in half an hour. Hi, Dr. Bowen.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Emily. Look, I better go. I'll let myself out. You take care of yourself. Thanks, Taylor.
Oh, Barbara, I have to leave also. I just came in to let you know that I'll be at the Snyder house if you need me. Okay.
See you.
Paul, something's still confusing me. It seems rather odd that you drove the car back from Ruxton Hills and not Emily.
Why?
Because Emily told me that she was waiting in the car for you, and that she couldn't drive the car because you had the car keys in your jacket. But I know you didn't take the jacket from Ruxton Hills because when Hal found me, I was carrying it.
Well, then Emily must be confused because I didn't have the keys in my jacket pocket. They were in the pocket of my jeans.
Okay. What about the gun?
The gun?
When was the last time you remember seeing it?
Well, let's see. I was upstairs in one of the empty bedrooms while Dad and Emily were down in the living room talking. I had the coat with me then, and I know the gun was in the coat. And then Dad called me back downstairs, and I put the coat on the banister before I went into the living room.
And then what happened?
And then I talked to Dad, and Emily went upstairs. Why?
Is it possible that Emily took your jacket with her back upstairs and she found the gun inside of it? Now try to remember. This is very important. Was the jacket on the banister when you finished talking to your father? And was the gun still inside of it?
Yeah, not only that, but I can't shake the feeling that Emily Stewart isn't telling us why don't they ever give you spoons with this stuff? She's not telling us everything that she knows, and I just can't prove it.
You know, if we could track down Nick, we could get a whole lot of answers to these questions. You know, damn it. You know, it seems like we would just have a trace of him by now. It's almost like he just vanished in the thin air after he stole that speedboat from McKechnie. Hal, I'm telling you, this case is getting to me. Hi, Margot.
Hi. Care for lukewarm egg roll?
I want a hot kiss. Now I want the egg roll. Have you talked to Barbara since Tom told us about the convening of the grand jury?
No, and not that I didn't want to, but figure now that it's Tom's ball game, I'm just stay out of it. I'm gonna stay out of it.
I don't think you should. I really don't. I think you should call. I think she'd like to hear that we still believe her and that we're continuing on with the investigation. So call her. I really. It's not gonna. Honestly, it's not gonna bother me. It really isn't. I know you got a soft spot in your heart for damsels in distress.
Oh, yeah, Margot, I'm a real knight in shining armor.
You are, Munson. You were there for Denise when she needed you. You were there for Barbara when James took Paul. You were there for me in Greece when I was looking for Craig.
Don't forget you came to my rescue, too.
Hey, two of our guys found an abandoned car down at the docks. A rented navy blue sedan. It fits the description of the one the cops said was driving away from Ruxton Hills. In the car, there was a driver's license, Nick's photo, and a phony name on it.
Well, Eureka! We're getting somewhere.
Wait a minute, there's more. You'll never believe who rented that baby. it was Monica Lawrence.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine. And by Lemon Fresh Dash. Put a dash of freshness in your wash. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Dinner was delicious.
I'm glad you liked it.
Iva, I know you don't approve of me and Holden getting married.
Well, you see, I think Holden is kidding himself if he thinks he's over Lily. I mean, even though she's living with Dusty. I mean, can you honestly say that you're over your feelings for James? You see, I don't think people's feelings change that fast.
I understand your concern. However, Holden and I have been completely honest with one another about our feelings. I think if we work at it, we could have a good marriage.
Gosh. I really wish I could believe that. But you see, the way Holden's acting, it really scares me because he's blinded by this anger. And, he just doesn't, he's not thinking straight. I mean, the only thing that he wants is to get back at people.
Bar's all locked up. Where'd Mama go?
She's in the parlor.
I thought that she was going to give us a lot of grief about setting our wedding date.
I
But she took it pretty well.
Well, why object? I mean, really, it's not going to change anything, is it? I really wish you'd wait till Seth gets back from Chicago.
We want to do this now, Iva.
Great.
Holden, I'm going to try to call her over, see how she's doing, okay?
Okay. Well, why don't you use the phone in the parlor? You'll have more privacy. Mama. Thanks for being so understanding about Emily and me.
Well, did I have a choice? If I had objected, would you have said no anyway?
No, because I really want this. This is what I want.
Oh, sweetheart. I look in your eyes and I should see joy. But all I see is that same driven, intense look you used to have as a young boy. And I never understood it. And I never knew how to make it go away. What can I say, sweetheart? I'll be there. I'll be at the wedding, and I wish with all my heart that this marriage will bring you whatever it is you want.
Thanks, Mama. It will. Because it's gonna be a new beginning for me. It's not gonna be what I had in mind with Louie, but Emily and I, we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, well, that's great news about finding Nick's car, Roy. I just wish you'd found Nick in it.
Yeah, me too. But at least we've got a lead on him now. We've got an officer out there at the Lawrence estate waiting for Corinne and Monica to come home from a dinner engagement.
Are you bringing them in for questioning?
Yeah. If we come up with anything interesting, I'll give you a call. How late are you gonna be up?
All night. I've got tons of things to go over before I brief Barbara for the grand jury.
Barbara's really got a terrific lawyer. Oh, speaking of lawyers, what's up between you and this guy, Thornton Converse, from your Chicago office? You didn't seem too happy to see him when he came into your office this afternoon.
Well, he's just one of those people that can't seem to take no for an answer.
What do you want to talk to you about? Must have been important for him to come all the way out here without an appointment.
Well, we had some unfinished business to take care of. Listen, Roy, I hate to cut you short, but I really need to get back to work.
Yeah, well, look, if anything turns up in the questioning, I'll give you a call, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Roy. Bye-bye.
I swear, Jessica, I have no idea how that gun got into my hand.
Hello?
Hello, Jessica.
Thornton, I thought I made it clear to you.
Please, Jessica, just hear me out. We have to talk.
There's nothing to talk about. Now, I've got a new life here, and you're not part of it, so why can't you just accept it?
Because I know that you don't really believe that, any more than I do. Listen, I want you to have breakfast with me tomorrow.
That's out of the question.
Why? What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm up to my neck in a murder case here, and I just really don't have time for this.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Please, Thornton, just go back to Chicago and get on with your life, and let me get on with mine.
I can't do that, Jess. You know me. Once I have made up my mind, I don't give up. I'll give you a call in the morning. Pleasant dreams.
Wait a minute. Thornton?
Casey, what an ultra-romantic setting. I mean, but we're only having pot roast.
So? Just because we said I do doesn't mean the romance is over. We're just getting started, darling.
And now that we're married, things could be different.
Yeah.
Exotic.
Yeah. More better. Now that everybody knows how much we love each other, right?
Yeah.
Even Mrs. Fatwater.
Fatwater. You know what? I wish that Tom and Martha could get that feeling back. You know? I've been thinking about what she said about Taylor, you know, and Tom is in a very vulnerable position right now. Well, listen to me, because he sees Margot and Hal all the time.
Yeah, well, Tom is a big boy. I told you that. Why don't you just stop worrying about him, okay?
Yeah, but we know how crafty Taylor is. I mean, she could find the right moment.
Tom is not going to fall for any of Taylor's baloney. Don't worry about it. He's still in love with Margot, and she is still in love with him. And love will find a way. It did with us, didn't it? Didn't it?
Yes,
didn't it?
It did.
Can you defeat the dishes, boy? If I were present. Come on in, Ed. I'm just working on the, Taylor, hi.
Hi. Sorry to disappoint you, Tom.
On the contrary, your lovely face is never a disappointment. Come on.
Well, a little bird told me that you'd be working late tonight, and I thought you might need something to keep your strength up, so I brought a little gourmet nourishment from the Pampered Palate. Now, you just go right back with whatever you're doing, and I'll set everything up, and then I'll have a bite with you, and then I'll get out of your hair, I promise.
You know, this is very thoughtful of you.
Well, just my way of saying thank you for Thanksgiving. Being with you and your family was the best holiday I ever had. Sorry. I know it wasn't your best. Without Margot there.
Please, no wine for me. I need to keep a clear head. I'm going to be working all night.
Oh, just a little bit?
Okay.
I know this must be a very tense time for you, knowing that you may have to prosecute Barbara. I admire your being able to be objective.
Well, let's just hope I continue to keep my objectivity.
Don't you dare doubt yourself, Tom Hughes. You're a man of great integrity. I know you do the right thing. Cheers.
Let's throw a bean.
Tom, we found Nick's car.
I know I could have called, Betsy. I'm sorry. Well, no, Holden and I were just sort of talking all night, and I stayed at the farm. Yeah. Listen, I wanted to talk to you later about some wedding plans, okay? Good. Bye. Can I help you with that, Mrs. Snyder?
Oh, yes, Emily, that'd be nice. Thank you.
You know, being here with all of you makes me realize just how much I missed as a kid. I never really had much of a family.
Miss Holden tells me that your mother and father divorced when you were very young.
They were. I never really knew my father. And my mother and I, well, you can kind of say we didn't get along. That's one of the things that I respect the most about Holden. He's very devoted to his family. And that's really why it's so important that we have your blessing. I only want to make Holden happy.
Well, you know, Emily, that's all I ever wanted for Holden, too. And I hope that this marriage will make you both very happy.
So, got everything under control out in the barn. So I'm gonna get a shower and head to the office, Mom.
Well, no, why don't you at least take 5 minutes and have some breakfast? Now, come on, Holden.
Okay, I will.
Holden, I spoke to Jessica Griffin, and she said that the check from the trust fund will be ready by lunchtime.
That's great. I'm gonna pay you back every penny.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it.
Lily, it's good to hear your voice. We all miss you very much out here.
Oh. Oh, I'm so glad. I am that you made the formal move back into my bed last night. I couldn't bear
Me
it,
too.
not another minute.
Oh, me either.
Never, ever, ever will I ever not tell you the truth.
Wait.
Ever, John, again.
Wait a minute. I think it's best we not make promises that perhaps we can't always keep.
Oh,
okay?
but from this moment on, darling.
From
no
this moment on.
secrets. You for me, only two. When you were in the shower, I called Ambrose and told him that I had broken into the Reyes apartment last night.
And?
And he said I can go to Margot, so I will, to the police, lay my cards on the table.
You never answered my question last night. Why are you so determined to point the finger at Tonio?
Because he's a swine. I'm not going to let this crime he's not going to get away with.
That's the only reason.
Yes.
Okay.
Want to come with me to the police station?
Of course I want to come with you. I must tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't settle things right away, I may have to leave because I'm going to stop by Kim's. I want to talk to her about Andrew. I have decided that I am not going to go for custody with the boy. He doesn't really need the pressure right now. And besides, he's going to be 18 in a little while, and it won't really make any difference, will it?
Well done. Well done.
Thank you, dear.
Adult.
Thank you. Hello?
Hi, John, it's Margot. Look, I got a message here that Lucinda... Thank you. Lucinda called, and so I wanted to know if she was there.
Yeah, she's right here, Margot, but I don't know if it's the kind of thing she wants to talk to you about over the telephone.
So just remember, Meg, as long as we stick to our original story, nobody will ever know that we're not telling the complete truth.
I know. I just wish Holden hadn't seen you that night. And Barbara. I mean, the fact that you saw her in your rearview mirror, it's still a possibility she saw you.
Yes, but apparently she didn't.
Maybe she did. You know, if Dr. Michaels puts her under hypnosis,
Meg,
it can. Why don't we play hooky today?
It's very tempting. But I can't. I have to get to the office, Meg.
Oh, well. It was worth a try, anyway. Okay, now I'll go downstairs and start breakfast.
Meg, those extra blazer buttons that I keep in this drawer, they're missing.
Don't worry, silly. I put them down here.
Where are they?
Tonio?
Meg, where are those
Tonio,
buttons?
they're gone.
Lucinda, you never cease to amaze
What are you
me.
going to do? Are you going to have Tonio in here for questioning?
There is nothing that I can do, because even if you overheard Tonio state that he was James Sinbeck's murderer, this information was received illegally.
Well, what about this? All right, all right. I found this. There at the apartment. Look. One of the buttons is missing. Doesn't this prove that Tonio was involved with James?
This is great. No, this is great. This is great. But how do I explain to Tonio how I got these,
I'm sure that you can think of something, darling.
all right. Perhaps when I feel that I am right, I sometimes don't use my better judgment.
You say that again.
However, I am right. And at the very least, Tonio knows something about the murder, and Meg knows what it is, and John, Holden knows what it is. please remove your wife from this room before I succumb to my better instincts and arrest her.
Let's go. We're going to get our tickets.
You know, Barbara's going in front of a grand jury very soon, and this could have helped her. Listen, even if I could use this information, it's a little late.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm on my way to the hospital, honey. I'll call you later.
Dad, hi.
Hi. Pretty chipper this morning. I guess you got some sleep last night after all.
Actually, I haven't slept a wink, and I haven't felt better in weeks. Taylor Baldwin stopped by the office last night, brought me some dinner. Margot walked in on us. I think she was actually jealous.
Is that good?
Well, sure. If she's jealous, it means she cares. It's the most encouraging sign yet.
If you say so.
Is Barbara here?
Yeah, she's in the den, talking to Jessica.
Thanks. Swell to see you. Paul, hi. Uh-oh, you get up on the wrong side of bed this morning?
I know what you're trying to do to my mom, and I hate you for it.
You're doing great, Barbara. Now tell me, what happened after you found the linoleum knife in the shed?
I took it with me. I figured that James probably had a gun, and I knew it wasn't much protection, but I had to have something, and all I could think about was getting Paul. So I left the shed, walked towards the house, and as I was putting the knife in my purse, that's when I heard the 2 shots. And that must be when I dropped the knife.
Good, good. Be sure to stress those 2 shots to the grand jury. It's very important to our case. Barbara, what is it? Are you remembering something else?
There was a car. There was a car. It was pulling out. I saw. No, I don't know if I saw it. I don't know if I...
Barbara, try to remember. What kind of car?
I don't
Did
know.
you see the driver?
Hello? Yes, she is. Hold on a second. It's Greg from your office.
Yeah, Greg. Well, why didn't Tom... Oh, I see. Okay, can you clear your schedule for the rest of the day? Yeah, I'll be back to the office soon. Okay. The grand jury is scheduled to hear your case at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tom's on his way over to tell us in person.
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of these CBS stations. Jewelry provided by Monet. Join us tomorrow for the Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns.